Guys, welcome back to another episode of Always Making. Guys, wait, hold up. Let's start off. This is episode 50.
Oh,
holy
yeah.
crap, guys. I was like, wait, I have to have more excitement on this intro here.
Guys.
Guys, thank you guys so much for being part of this. For us, episode 50, we started 2 years ago, just earlier. On June 30th was our first episode 2 years ago, which is crazy.
It's wild.
And yeah, the whole maker adventure for us started just about 4 years ago now. And yeah. And so because
with this current iteration.
we are going to be at our fourth DIY Fest by Craft Lake City. That's why we have a special guest with us. Tiana, you are representing Craft Lake City here with us today. We're going to talk all things Craft Lake City. That is coming up on August 8th, 9th, and 10th. I got the dates right this time too, guys. I was practicing off camera. But yeah, this is going to be 3 weeks before this launches, 3 weeks before the big show. This is your guys's 17th. I was like 18th, 17th. I got
close.
17th annual DIY Fest. First one was in 2009. You guys have come a long way. How long have you been with Craft Lake City?
Yeah, that's a great question. I've been at Craft Lake City just a little bit over 2 years. I started June 19th, 2023. So like right before DIY Fest, they just threw me into the deep end. I said, let's go. Let's do this.
Awesome. We're going to get into the conversation real quick, guys. We got a little bit of housekeeping to do. If you guys came out to StickerCon, we are filming this right before StickerCon, but if we saw you at StickerCon this past weekend forward of the time of when this all happens, thanks for coming out and supporting. That was really great of you guys. But DIY Fest, you guys have already heard us a couple times. We are going to be there August 8th, 9th, and 10th. This is our fourth time being there. We've got some cool new stuff that we're going to be bringing out. You missed us at Brighton. Brighton, BCC Flea. Those dates that we were there, we already finished that up.
We're going to be in Mill Creek in September.
There you go.
The entire month of September, the 1st to the 28th, I believe, for the 1330 Design Collective Market and Fashion Show, which I am getting nervous about.
If you guys haven't been following on the channel, Christy is on her probably third episode now when this gets released, but you've at least released two. I know that of your vlog series about SOS and your design process for the pieces that you're going to be putting into that. And like, comment, subscribe, do everything you're supposed to do to help us out. And if you guys know any other makers, local creators in the Salt Lake or greater Salt Lake area, please send them our way. Let them know about us, and we'd love to have a conversation. But okay, DIY Fest, all this episode, I'm excited about this episode because the reason we're here doing what we're doing is because we signed up for DIY Fest as our
even
first show.
before that, yeah, we signed up for DIY Fest as our first show. But when we first moved to Utah 6 years ago now, we saw like some yard signs for DIY Fest, and we were like, "Oh, that sounds cool. Let's go." And we went and we were like, we could do this. Yeah. And then we did.
To be fair, Christy, like we both kind of were like, can we do this? Like that. That's true. We didn't have the confidence necessarily off the bat.
We were like, we could. Could we? We could.
Could we? And then we signed up. We got accepted, and we go, oh shit!
Now we got to do it.
Now what are we doing? We need things. We need to figure out how to do stuff. And we got into a smaller show literally 2 weeks before DIY Fest.
Only because we were like, we should do another show
just to get a feel for it. And then
first market ever.
And then DIY Fest was our first 3-day event. We did Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We didn't know what we were getting ourselves into.
Nope, but obviously we had a blast.
We had a blast.
We've done it every year since.
Yeah, and so I just wanted to have you guys on and like represent Craft Lake City and DIY Fest here because of everything you guys are doing for the building the community. That's like what the whole point of this show is about, is talking to people who are trying to build and create and make, and like what is your role? Let's start there.
How about you introduce yourself? Let us know how you're involved with Craft Lake City.
Tiana, so go ahead and introduce yourself and how you're like tied in with Craft Lake City.
Yeah, well, I mean, first, it's seriously such an honor to be here. I had no idea that Craft Lake City was almost your first market.
Yeah.
We hear that a lot, actually, which is really like special and cool that like
so many first time makers are able to like make their debut, so to speak, at DIY Fest, like Salted Roots, of course. They talk about it all the time. But so I guess my role, my title is the Artisan and Programs Manager with Craft Lake City. So I oversee all of our year-round and seasonal programming and all of our exhibitors at DIY Fest, which is a huge honor. And I get to meet really awesome people like yourselves. But yeah, that's kind of the tip of the iceberg. We're kind of a small nonprofit, so we all wear many hats. It's always something different each day, which is really fun.
Yeah, awesome. I was looking back. 2009 is when the first one went, and you guys had just a little over 60 vendors come through. And this year, the brochure says 500 vendors and artisans, and that's a huge increase.
Yeah.
And so you're managing all of them.
I mean, with the team, of course. I could not do any of my job by myself. Like, I'm so grateful to have such an incredible team behind the scenes at Craft Lake City. But yeah, we started 2009. We were actually a Slug magazine event, just one day at the Gallivan Center. And then from there, it's grown into this massive 3-day festival featuring 500 plus creatives. So that's across the artisan, vintage, STEM, youth entrepreneurs, so Kid Row, food trucks, craft foodies, and performer categories.
And the musicians, and you got the stages, you got the performers, you got all that stuff going on. And so it is a big event. We look forward to it every year. We usually debut some new pieces for that and kind of like let those pieces live throughout the year. And we're like, oh, Craft Lake City's coming. We need to make some cool new stuff and have something fresh in the booth. But
I'd like to say we prepare in advance. We plan it all year and we like are totally ready. And literally it's like, a few weeks before and we're like, oh, we should like order some shirts and make them. And, some other things.
Maybe go thrifting and like start making some like new things and pieces and find it's like every year it's like, okay, we leave.
We're going to be on top of it this year. We're totally going to be on top of it.
We leave it so excited. And we're like, okay, let's go next week. Let's start looking for stuff. And they're like, oh yeah, we have this other show we got to go do, or we've got this other thing going on. Okay, we'll put it on the week after. I've got this cool idea. Oh, the week after. And then we're like, oh no, we're like 3 weeks away. And we're like, okay, we
crunch time.
Yeah, late nights. I need to be at the shop printing some stuff, or we need to be down here in the basement working on some things and getting them all ready for the show. But we wouldn't want to miss it. I mean, there's always a chance we can miss it because it is not guaranteed that we are in every year. That is a thing that I do appreciate, that every vendor has to go through an application process, and you guys do a blind judging. Is that how, the way to call that? Or?
The technical term is third-party blind jury.
Okay,
jury. That's it, jury.
I was like, I know you guys have some term for it, but and then you guys kind of decide on who makes it in. And how many applicants do you guys get, like, on usual for the year?
Which category?
I mean, I guess all of the above. Yeah. Like, how long of a process does it take for you guys?
Oh, I mean, I'm like about this. I mean, the second DIY Fest ends this year, I'm going to start working on the applications for the next one. We're already kind of like in talks with the team, trying to get them prepared for the next drop of applications for the 18th annual Craft Lake City DIY Festival presented by Harmons. And yeah, so it takes a long time to get that ready. But I guess the process as a whole, in jurying, we can boil it down to about a month, not including the prep work. So we do have to source like community. One really cool, unique thing about Craft Lake City's jurying process is we source community members who are involved in the arts community. Who of course didn't apply because that would be biased. But they like, get into our, system, and they are as unbiased as they possibly can because they actually don't see any of the names or anything. So it's just based solely on quality of work. So that's something that I think is really cool and special about like how we do things specifically. Yeah.
That's very cool. So you're basing all off of quality of work and like craftsmanship and making that choice. Is it a hard choice for you guys to kind of like move that forward?
Yes. It's like, because especially like seeing everyone in different parts of their journey, like you have to take that like into account. Like we don't really get full final say on like who's in the who's in the lineup. Like the jury really does like most of the work, which is really cool. But yeah, it's really hard, especially for like our smaller events, like our holiday market, DIY Fest as well. But we just have so many more spots than a holiday market. But it is kind of like agonizing to like not be able to offer everyone a space because like I mean, I'm a creative myself. Like, I understand, like, maybe this wasn't the best day for like photos or, you know, whatever it is. Or maybe I applied, shout out to Salted Roots, 2 minutes before the deadline for the first one. Like, you know,
we
it's
heard
just
that story.
Right. I just have so much, like, our team just has so much compassion for, you know, where everyone is in their journeys. So definitely does make it a hard decision.
Yeah. So I want to like put DIY Fest just on the back burner because Craft Lake City is the all-encompassing thing that we are talking about here, because you guys don't just do DIY Fest. You brought it up. You have the holiday market. You guys have artisan, not tutorials, but workshops. That's the term I was looking for. You guys do all kinds of community outreach. You guys are tied into, I'm trying to think of other things that are like on the website.
There's like the murals that you guys do. I mean, like, so you can tell us.
I would love to. Can I start with our mission?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, so our mission is to educate, promote, and inspire local artisans while elevating the creative culture of the Utah arts community through science, technology, and art. And you said it best, but we do this in like a million ways, which is really special. Of course, there are bigger events like DIY Festival, Holiday Market, which is our smaller like market style event, which is up in Ogden. So we get to target and support northern Utah communities outside of Salt Lake City, because our mission is like Utah as a whole. We have, of course, our craft workshops, which are typically monthly, but that's where we connect local artisans with paid opportunities to share their craft with the community. So giving the community accessible art education, which is really awesome. What else do we do? I mean, a million different things. We have our big conference, which is sort of new. We're going into our third year, our Letter West conference, which is a conference for hand lettering. So all things murals, illustration, calligraphy, kind of anything. People who are lettering curious, kind of everything in between. Yeah, I mean, we have a million of other things. If you're interested, I could talk about it, but we would be here all night probably.
Yeah, the thing I love about the conversations that are had about all the things you guys are doing is that it is, again, all artisan focused, and that's one of the coolest things. And when you say science technology, you also have the whole STEM program as well, that there's a large like influence of art in STEM that's really great. And I love the STEM building that you guys do, the rocket launches, and everyone individual with their rockets and making them their own creative kind of stuff that they do. Last year you guys had tattoo artists in the STEM building.
We sure did. Science of tattoos.
And so you guys were offering tattoos at the festival. So there's so much that you guys do. We even get the opportunity that you guys are at Mill Creek Common that we talked about. We've been part of the Maker's Mart that you guys done there with the central checkout, which is really cool. And that's another opportunity, another branch just to expand all those creators that are there is like reach, then not just one day at a festival. And so we've had the opportunity to be there twice now, which is really awesome. But the amount of people who we meet like at other shows, they're like, hey, are you guys over here? We're like, yeah, we are. Like, oh, people see us, like that's kind of cool kind of thing. And it does also, it's an interesting effect that happens because at a show we have to sell ourselves. Like we have to put ourselves in a place where like, hey, this is our art, this is the thing. At that show we're not there. So then when our stuff is selling, it's like, oh, hey, it kind of gives a little confidence boost of like,
we don't have to be there to like talk it up.
Yeah, people actually like what we're doing without us trying to be like, hey, support starving artists.
Yeah. Look at our cute baby.
Yeah.
You're like, Juniper, do your thing.
But it is one of those things that, again, that's new for you guys this past year. This is the second one you've done. So 2024.
Yeah.
Because it switched around. It was in fall last year, but it was in spring this year. So it feels almost in the same year, but slightly different. But that's new for you guys. And is there some new fun things that you guys, well, I guess that you can share that you guys have coming down the line with stuff like that?
Yeah. Well, I guess one fun thing that most people don't really know about, I guess it's not necessarily coming down the line, but it just came down the line, is our youth program. Which is like Business Academy, which is where we set local artisans up with business education to help that entrepreneurship aspect, because most artists have like that artisan part down of like, we can create, but it's for youth entrepreneurs. So we connect ages 18 and under with local artisans to come teach like their craft, but also talk about their journey, as well as like this all-star entrepreneurship curriculum from this really awesome company based out of Austin called Venture Lab. And we've been able to bring it public for the first time ever. So we had 2 groups of 15 students who will be debuting officially at DIY Festival in Kid Row.
That's very cool.
That's so exciting. Yeah. Kid Row is one of our favorites. Like we talk about it all the time as well. But yeah, we love seeing the kid artisans and all of their like awesome art and their stickers and all the things that they're making. Like we totally buy from Kid Row every year because it's the best.
Oh yeah.
Well, it is one of those things where I look back, I'm like, you guys started in 2009. We weren't around in 2009, but in 2009 we just both graduated out of college. Mm-hmm. We were both trying to figure out what we wanted to do. There wasn't an opportunity like a Craft Lake City where we were at for a DIY fest or for a Maker's Mart or any of your holiday shows or any of that stuff to like put yourselves out there. And I think what I love so much is the Kids Row aspect of it, because like if there was an opportunity at a younger age where I was discovering that creative outlet and like feeling confident to, I might be in a different place right now because of that. But like it was that journey to get to where we are now that's led us to the success we've had with what we do. But I'm like, man, it could have been a different situation having some kind of guidance. And I think it's really cool because, I mean, there's some very talented, like young people that don't get the opportunity to put themselves out there. So the whole like new program that you guys are offering, I was unaware of that.
Yeah.
And so I think that's really cool to see that.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
It's we have done it for 2 years, but never were able to offer it to the public. I mean, it's completely free. For the public program, we actually give kids $250 worth of materials to invest back into their business, which is really rad. But I totally feel the same way. Like had I had that opportunity as like a kid, I might not be here today. I'm glad I am. So things happen for a reason.
Yeah, it is true. One of those things. Like we both, me and Christy, can like speak from experience of like we've been creative a long time of our lives, but we were never given the opportunity to say, hey, your creativity can make you money.
Yeah. I mean, I started my first business in high school with my friends selling jewelry that we made, but it was like just a fun thing. It never occurred to me that like, oh, this could be like a legitimate career. It was like, no, my friend and I make jewelry and we sell it to our friends and, you know, some teachers and whatever. And then like we graduated high school, we're like, cool, let's split our profits and go to like Olive Garden and, you know, and that's it. Fun times. It was a place to go.
Oh, yeah. To hang out.
But yeah, I mean, like something like that would have been so amazing.
Yeah. How cool is it though that there's like this community and like this like kind of shift where that's like becoming more possible and like perceived as more possible. Like our like tagline for that program is empowering the next generation of makers, and it just like seriously rings so true, even like from what you were just saying about your childhood.
I love it.
What got you to start with Craft Lake City 2 years ago? What was the reasoning? Like why? Like was it they're like, hey, I'm gonna go find Craft Lake City and do this thing?
That is a really loaded question. That's a great question. I moved here to Utah from Texas. I lived in Austin for about 5 years. And then I moved to Utah because my partner had brought me here because of a job. And I spent a year because I had, you know, some career shifts chosen, and I really it was important to me to find purpose, and it was important to me to figure out exactly what I wanted to do with my life, because I'm so driven by being able to help people. And I settled on wanting to either start my own or work at a nonprofit that combines art and science. And then, not even kidding, less than a month later, I was like job searching and I was like, what is this? And then I clicked on it and it was like exactly the type of role I wanted to be, which was like managing programs and projects, and exactly the same organization that I wanted to be at. And it was just felt like it was so like destined in a weird way, I guess. And so I kind of jumped at the opportunity. And then obviously I got it. So good news.
Now. But so let's talk a little bit about your artist history. Like, what is your creative passion? What are you doing? Like, why the arts?
I always talk about it as if like it is kind of inseparable for myself. It's like I can't help but create, right? And I feel like that's something that a lot of people can relate to, that it's just so inherent to like our...
I mean, you see our basement. We can't help but create. Like, there's
a piece of artwork in itself. Yeah, so like even from a young age, like I just had to like be drawing like this. Like I was very motivated to like figure out how to hold a pencil, and from like 2 years old, I was like drawing stuff, like trying to create stuff, and that just grew throughout my lifetime. I wanted to be a doctor, right? And then my type B self was like, do you? And so I guess my method of creation now, I love hand lettering, which is fitting. But I think my main mediums are watercolor and acrylic paint. But something that I'm very passionate about is creating with sustainable materials. I have a degree in sustainability, so kind of combining those two is kind of my sweet spot.
I love that. And literally, like I have almost the exact same story where I was literally pre-med track and wanted to be like a researcher. And then I was like, yeah, but I'm not using both halves of my brain. So let's just completely switch majors and do film instead.
So fun. That's so fun. I did not know that.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, you did broadcasting for like
It's true. Like I did a lot of creative stuff, but like,
Yeah.
again, that was never like, I thought a career option
Yeah,
until
yeah.
I was in college, and I was like, I literally can't stay in this. Like, I'm looking around, everybody's like so gung ho, like studying so hard, and I'm like, yeah, I don't care that much about this though. So I need to find something I do care about.
Well, the funny flip for both of us is like I was in fashion and sewing and doing all of this stuff, and Christy was more film and all this stuff through high school. And then when we met in senior year, I like discovered the camera. I'm like, oh, I can make costumes and film them. I'm gonna do that. Then I went the film career, and then now Christy's in the whole
like,
seamstress.
Costumes are fun.
Kind of thing. Yeah, I'm like, oh, costumes are fun. So now it's like this whole opposite of like switch of what we had kind of thing. But it was very funny. But like for me, I knew going out of high school, I was going into a creative career. I stopped playing soccer because I knew the colleges I wanted to didn't have a soccer team because it was an art school. And they don't have sports. I mean, weird, artists don't do sports. I'm like, I don't know. But no, it was not true at all. But but it was one of those things where like, okay, I'm gonna go this direction and find stuff. I felt very fortunate that I had the opportunity to discover that I wanted creativity at a young age. And my freshman year, it was a weird by chance situation that I got thrown into a fashion class, didn't know what it was. And the teacher was a little skeptical about me because I was the only dude in a class with 35 high school females. And I'm like, yeah,
let's go.
And then I like just destroyed the class. I was super stoked on sewing machines. I was like run through it. I ran all her classes, like every single thing she offered.
By your senior year, you were her son, basically.
Yeah, it was.
She didn't like me because we were dating, and she was like, "You're distracting him from his sewing and his work." And
because
how dare you?
I was on this trajectory to go to FITM, Fashion Institute for Design and Marketing, and I was leaning that direction, and I was like, "This is where I want to go. I want to do costume design."
Cameras,
and then
cameras,
the dark side.
And it was like I played with cameras before broadcast class, but then it was like, oh, I could do so much with these. These are so much fun. And so I was like, okay, well, like I took the idea, I can make costumes and film them. This is even better than just making costumes. And so, yeah, it's a funny switch that we had going forward with that. But we go back to, we did not have the community at the time we were looking for those creative things to feel confident enough to put ourselves out there. We were looking at, okay, we need to have a portfolio, we need to have a job, we need to have this like career path,
to be like a quote unquote professional artist.
And what DIY Fest like allows so many people to do is put themselves in a situation that, hey, you are your own career path. You can figure this stuff out. We have talked to, again, 50th episode, guys. This is crazy. We're on our 50th episode. But we have talked to so many great guests on the show that they have discovered that they want to do what they do and are pursuing it. And whether the path has DIY Fest involved in it or other choices for them, it's great to see that there's a community that helps lift all of these artists up to like feel confident enough that, hey, if I'm selling my art consistently and everything, I can make this my life goal and my choice and move forward and be successful in my own right. And I mean, that's like, I think everyone's goal is to just have fun and enjoy what they're doing for like their entirety of their life. So if like if there's an opportunity to give that to kids at a younger age, I think that's super awesome. This is a full circle back to the program. But.
Even older too, because you guys have the mentorship program with like the artisans through Craft Like City DIY Fest, with the mentors too. So not even just like young kids.
Yeah.
What does that entail from you guys? I guess we're talking a lot. Like, let's have our guests talk a little bit.
This is great. I'm learning so much about you. This is fascinating. It's also inspiring to hear, because like the whole point of Craft Lake City and why Angela H. Brown, our executive director, started it in 2009 was because she saw a need. And you kind of perfectly verbalized that need of like, supporting local artisans, but also bringing together that community and allowing them this and bringing together this platform so that they can connect with other artisans, connect with community members who can appreciate their artwork, and then gain confidence that, oh, wait, I should be doing this. Like, I love doing this and I can do it, so I'm going to do it. But yeah, back to your question. The scholarship and mentor program is at both DIY Festival and the Holiday Market, but it's built for emerging artisans to essentially set them up for success and teach them how to be successful at a market, selling their artwork or craft food or whatever it is. So I think it started in 2017, maybe 2019. My memory doesn't always serve me. But yeah, so this year we've chosen 4 mentors to pair with 4 scholars. So 16 scholars total and 4 mentors total. And they get one-on-one mentorship. So they can ask all those like maybe traditionally stupid questions. I don't believe that exists, but the questions that you're maybe afraid to ask, you're like, I don't know, should I know this? As well as, market advice, that kind of stuff. They go through this very long group training that we host at the Craft Lake City office. And it goes through how to make a display, marketing yourself, finances, preparing for the DIY festival, all with the end goal in mind of, exhibiting at the DIY festival. Part of that is we waive their booth fees too, so they don't have to worry about that financial component, because especially for emerging artisans, I've heard that it can be a really big barrier to entry. Yeah. Yeah. So that's so that's part of the reason why we do that. But anyway, do you have any questions about it, I guess? Because it sounds like you're just now learning about this, which is so cool.
Well, the mentor program, I want to know, has there been any like success stories that have stuck out with you on some of the people that have been part of it?
Yeah. For the holiday market a lot. Wow, so many. Well, I'll choose one, but I like very specifically remember this artisan getting chosen for the scholarship and mentor program, and I like called her, she didn't answer, I left her voicemail, and then I sent her a text. I was like, hey, like, you got it. And she sent me this like gushing email before and then also after the program of like, I can't believe y'all saw this in me. And this has given me the confidence and the confirmation that I needed to be able to like pursue this full time. Like, this is what I needed to like, that it's like that stepping stone, which is kind of the point. Yeah. So that was like, I got goosebumps again. But it's just like, just so touching to hear stuff like that. But I mean, with scholars overall, we see them come back year after year at DIY Festival, which is really rad. Like Holly with Retro V, if you've met her, she was one of our scholars at Holiday Market. Yeah, we're planning to have her on a future episode. Yeah, we were just actually up at Brighton with her. No way! Booths right back and forth, and we met at the Maker's Mart, and so we were doing cleanup, and me and her had a conversation for like almost 30 minutes, and Chris is like, where are you? You were supposed to be home a while ago. I'm like, sorry, having conversation, you know how I like to talk and everything. Oh yeah. But yeah, so go ahead, continue. I interrupted. Oh no, all I was gonna say is she has even expressed interest now in being a mentor and giving back, because she learned so much and is able to help her and I don't want to misspeak her words, but from what I understand, it was so impactful to her that she wants to use that as an opportunity to then teach others like how she was taught.
Yeah. The conversation I've had with her was that same kind of vein of like, she's very into the community and very into lifting and supporting other people who just might not have that confidence to like try. And we get the same theme with the people we have on the show, that it's like, if you had a piece of advice, it's like that one thing is like, just try, just do it. Just because for all of us as artists, we run into that confidence of, is our stuff good enough? Is our pieces going to sell? Is it worth our money, our time, our effort to put ourselves out there? Are they going to like it? And so you don't know until you try. And so the success and like that little bit of extra like support you guys offer to lift them up in that sense, like can go a long ways. And like hearing the story that you're telling, it was like, yeah, that was that like little kick in the butt to say, hey, you can do this. Like, go ahead, we've got your back kind of thing. And that's, I think, really cool. Is there any stories from like attendees that are like really stand out to you, or I get not attendees, but other vendors that might have not been in the program that like you've met or like heard from, or any of that stand out from your time with Craft Lake City?
Immediately what comes to my mind is the mentor, actually.
Okay.
So one of our mentors, Linda Brown with Lyman and Brown, she's been a mentor like 3 times now, and she's like, I just love doing it. Like, oh yeah, like tell me more. And one really interesting thing she shared was, by teaching emerging artisans, because it's not always in the same medium, she actually learns stuff from them and how to like better the way she does things, and it helps her think more creatively, and she gets more inspired.
Well, I've said it on here before. The only reason I have guests on here so I can steal their ideas and basically learn. Like, I'm like, oh, you did that? Okay, cool. I'm taking note. And yeah, that's smart. Cool. Yeah. It's my little secret thing about like why we do the show and everything.
They say something, you're like,
yeah, write that down. Okay, cool. All right, we're gonna use that in the next show. Yeah. But it is very true. The people around us that we are fellow creatives, you get that like, oh, like I didn't think it like that. I didn't see it that way. That's a great way to think about it. And sometimes there's that success of like, hey, I'm going to try that and see how it works. And it's successful. And somebody like, I'm going to try that. And I'm like, oh, it didn't quite work the way it worked for you, but it was great to try it kind of thing. And so that's what I do appreciate about everybody we have met at not only DIY Fest, but all of the shows we do. Like, everyone is so willing to help and share their ideas and their knowledge and success and like failures, because it's like, oh, hey, I did this. Maybe it works for you. Maybe it doesn't, but this is what I did. Oh, I bought this thing and like, man, it was actual shit and everything. Don't buy this. But when I bought the other thing, this is great. It's where I'm like, cool. But everyone feels this like sense of community building. And I feel it at DIY Fest. And I like every time we're like setting up booths, everybody wants to like, hey, can I help you lift this? Or can I like, hey, carry this in kind of thing. You have so many volunteers that come out. That's another big program that you guys like do, is you guys have so many people volunteering just to come out and support. Like, how do you know how many volunteers you get like annually?
Yeah, I actually do.
Loaded question. I knew you do. So.
I'm very involved in the reporting process. No, yeah, we get, I mean, like 1,000 people volunteer across all of our events, maybe more, but at least 1,000.
That's crazy.
That just goes to tell me that there are so many people who want to support the arts.
Seriously.
That you can have 1,000 people come out not looking for anything in return, but then just to be part of something. That is huge to know that number like is that big.
Yeah. And a fun fact too is Craft Lake City, for like the first 9 years of its life, maybe 7 years of its life, anyway, was 100% volunteer run. So like Craft Lake City would literally not exist without people caring about the arts and wanting to donate their time and their effort and their brain and whatever else to this like incredible like concept of like, we uplift other artisans and we uplift each other, you know, like it's just incredible to like even kind of bear witness to. I mean, of course, DIY Fest wouldn't happen at all without volunteers. I mean, we have a small team with maybe 12 people in the team. Like, we are heavily reliant on volunteers. And so if you want to volunteer,
there's still time.
Yeah.
Our
volunteer signups have been launched. No, just kidding.
No, I mean, that's totally like no kidding, for real. That I mean, but because this will be out 3 weeks before the actual show. What is the cutoff for people who might want to volunteer and be part of that community because they didn't get they maybe can't attend, or maybe they weren't a vendor, but they're like, hey, can I still support in some way? Is there still an opportunity at that point for them to volunteer at that time?
Always. They can waltz up off the street I mean, we're going to take their ID because, you know, security.
Security, yeah.
But they can definitely waltz up off the street and we'll put them to work. If they want to give back to the community in a way that's meaningful to them, in a way that's fulfilling to them, like, we will take it. We love making friends with people who want to help the community too. So yeah, any day of the DIY Fest, there's no limit.
What are some of the things volunteers are doing for you guys?
It's a great question. So DIY Fest volunteer shifts are open starting the week before DIY Fest. So maybe Monday of the DIY, like of the week leading up, whatever date that is. We're not doing that today.
Too much
math. But anything from, so we load into the festival grounds on Monday leading up to the festival starting on Friday. So helping move all of a U-Haul full of stuff, loading that up and then loading it to the festival grounds, unpacking it, setting up the set. We have people who can volunteer for production. So that's building the set of DIY Fest. I mean, it's literally a city for artisans, which is really cool. Of course, artisan load in, as you all have already mentioned, which is being able to meet amazing people like these awesome artisans. But of course,
there's way cooler artisans at DIY Fest than us. So like,
you're too humble. There are a lot of cool people though to meet there. I mean, there's kind of, we like to say there's a position for everyone in our volunteer shifts, because even if, you know, all different abilities, skill sets, that kind of stuff, like if you show up, we can find a spot for you.
Cool. You talked about something that I wanted to gravitate to, and you kind of brought it right up. How long in preparation are you guys for DIY Fest?
The actual event, or like the application, or the whole thing?
Like whole thing, everything. Does it literally start the day after DIY Fest?
Maybe like the Monday after?
Monday. Like
which would be the day after?
Do you maybe get one day off and then you guys are like getting ready for the
during
next year?
DIY Fest, we're getting ready for the next.
But you talk about like it's a week of prep of just the location prep, but there's so much going on to it. So how long of a process is it for you guys as an organization to get ready for an event like DIY Fest?
Well, I guess the day after, or the day like Sunday, kind of is accurate in that like a feedback is really important to us. Like, we wouldn't be here without the community, and that's the point. It's for the community. So the day after DIY Fest, and even we send out feedback surveys and thank you emails to every single person who's participated. We call them up. We're like, hey, thank you for being there, making it special, because gratitude's like one of our big values, but feedback is also another big component, because you know, we genuinely look at what people say, read it over, and try to figure out, oh, can we incorporate this? Does it make sense? You know, if we can, we want to, and we're always looking to improve. So kind of during DIY Fest, like I said that as a joke, but ironically,
kind of does.
It came into play.
Well, even that, like that you say you guys listen to feedback and everything, you've actually had focus groups that we were actually a part of one of them with you, and like just kind of our experience and like sharing it with everybody. And you guys make adaptations, you guys change things, and you guys actually listen, because like you said, it's part of the community. You want to do for the community, and if it's not working for people, you're going to try your best. The thing that I don't think anybody like really takes in grasp, you guys are a non-profit organization. You guys are not making money off of the artists. You guys are not making money off of the events that are profiting in your guys' pockets. It's all to support what you guys are doing and keep you guys alive and running. And it costs quite a bit to do the things you're doing. But I know there's sometimes with organizations, as they get bigger and grow, like there can be negative feedback of like, oh, they're just doing this to make money. I'm like, you guys are a nonprofit. That's not how it works in that sense. Just from my experience, I understand those things that happen kind of thing, but it is always a struggle sometimes. I mean, you guys probably get some feedback that's not the nicest of things sometimes, but you guys go right back into it the next day and for a whole year plan everything out.
Even in negative quote unquote negative feedback, it could be good feedback, just delivered maybe with a negative tone. Like even in that, like what can I learn from that is kind of like how we look at it as an organization, not just like, oh well, they were being rude, so we're gonna just throw it in the trash. Like no, we take that to heart too, like you know, maybe not as personally, but like, oh, how can we use this still to improve their experience? Like what were they talking about, and was it something that we did? Was it something that like was out of our control? So we still, like, even in that circumstance, like take it seriously.
I want to change topics a little bit here, and I really want to put you on the spot with this. Is I want you to tell me what your favorite part of DIY Fest is.
I thought you were gonna say your favorite artist, and we were
who's you're like what part of the show is your favorite show? Part of the show.
It's us.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah,
it's definitely Steadfast Rebels. No, but for real, if I had, well, of course, all the incredible people I get to meet, it's like so cool. Like my favorite thing to do is talk to artisans, and like the fact that that's my job is surreal. I still can't believe it, but seeing it all come together and seeing, there's so many good parts. It's such a hard question.
I knew it was going to be hard because I'm going to put you on the spot.
You can't say everything.
Okay. Can I just list out some highlights?
Okay, all right. I'll take it.
It is seeing in real time those relationships get built between artisans. Like, oh, I just met my booth neighbor, and like now we're exchanging stuff, and like now we're best friends. And then like months later, we see them like hanging out. I'm like, yes, that's really awesome for sure. Kid Row, of course, is so fun.
Yeah.
I always joke, but it's not really a joke, that I spend all my DIY Fest budget at Kid Row. It's just like just can't help myself. It is so fun.
It is. I have like a little vase upstairs in our like kitchen that like a kid painted, and I was like, this is the most awesome thing ever. And yeah,
I know, right? Yeah, there's gonna be like 70 kids at Kid Row this year,
awesome.
Which is gonna be Saturday of the DIY festival. For those who don't know yet, so it's 12 to 4 p.m. on Saturday, August 9th, and it will feature like the youth entrepreneurs and all that good stuff. But so Kid Row for sure. The STEM building's always really fun. Like we have Indie Game Arcade on Sunday of the festival, and it's really interesting because like if you've seen the GOFA stage, which is going to be a stage now, but it's like a bus that is full of like handmade like arcade style like old school video games. It's really fun to like both play those but then see kids like freak out at like video games. Yeah, those I'll stop there because I could probably continue listing.
You are just listing everything at the show.
I know.
That's right. But you bring up a good point. Like, I did want to highlight the fact that, like, I feel like DIY Fest is just so cool. It's like, you know, like, Derek's talking about how we didn't feel like there was a ton of, like, craft markets or, like, those kind of things where we were living, or at least, you know, earlier there wasn't, years ago. Because I feel like when you would think of craft markets, you would think of, like, older ladies selling their, like, handmade, you know, knitwear, which is cool, but, like, not cool.
Yeah,
but, like, DIY Fest is cool. And, like, Craft Lake City just has such a great community, and there's so much there that's like, it's not just like your grandma's knitted scarves, right? Like there's so much cool stuff and so many cool artists and so many cool things going on that it's like it's our favorite event every year. Like we always say it, but
I just want to say we're not being paid by Craft Lake City to say any of this stuff. We're not being in distress or anything. There's no sponsorship. There's nothing like held up against us kind of thing. No, it is genuine when we say it, because like we said, we went to the show, we saw so many cool things. The art that's on our wall, some of it is from the first show. Some of the artists that we met there, we've now made relationships with some of these artists now, which is really cool. That I'm like, oh my god, I get like you're so cool. You like, why are you talking to me? Like I'm like,
I legitimately talking to Patrick Bates at the last DIY Fest. Sorry, shout out Patrick Bates. We were both like starstruck. But your art is so cool, and you're just here, and you're talking to us, and you're so like normal and cool.
You're buying something from us. Like, why are you buying something from us?
Why are you at our booth?
Yeah.
I so get it.
Yeah, but
I so get it.
It is that first year was one of those things where you go, man, this is really a cool thing. I don't want to miss this event. And it was that conversation we had. It's like, can we do this? Is this something? And it was, I think, enough of like looking into the community, looking into what you guys were doing, and like being like comfortable enough to say, you know what? Let's just give this a shot. Like, let's see what happens kind of thing. Getting in and getting that email was like one of those things where like, oh no, what did we do?
We're actually going to do this now.
Yeah, but that's it. It's, and what I love seeing, like you said, the relationships that are being built with the booth neighbors, with the people in the hall that are there. It's like someone just walks by and like, oh my god, that's so cool. What booth do you have? What are you selling? It's like, oh, I'm over here kind of thing. I'll have to come check it out. And you come see and you're like, all of a sudden like, oh my god, I spent an hour talking with you. I need to get back to my booth. Maybe someone was over there trying to buy something. But it is that thing that happens that you just like, oh, this is really cool, because the community. That's what it really comes down to, is the community that is being built around artists, artisans, creatives, makers, food artisans. Like there's all the different STEM programs. I love the science side of things. Like a lot of our pieces are influenced by science. I think it's a really important thing for us. And so that there's that STEM side of things that you guys offer, the art side of things, the performance side of things, it is one of those things that we get super excited for every year to come back. And again, we are not being paid. We are not like, no one has like offered us anything to say. This is genuine when we say it. And that's why we wanted to have you guys on for our 50th episode, because it is pretty significant that we've been doing this for 2 years. And because of Craft Lake City, we are here today doing what we're doing because the people we have met. Oh, it probably I'm lost for words. I hate when I get this way.
It's okay. No, we're just super grateful. Like, honestly, not just obviously to Craft Lake City, but like to the whole community. And I think, again, it's our 50th episode. We've had so many guests that say the same thing, that Utah has the most amazing art community. Everyone is there to lift each other up. Everyone is there to like help each other out, to give advice. Like we've had people like, we ask our question, like, what's one thing that you would advise? And we've had people say like, well, just reach out to the artists that you admire. Like, just ask them questions. Be like, hey, how did you get started? And it's so true. Come to DIY Fest and ask any vendor in their booth and be like, how did you get started? How did you get here? Like, I want to do this too. And they will probably just like talk your ear off, because that's what it's all about. Like, yeah. So the fact that like we have been doing this for, well, the podcast for 2 years and doing markets for 4 years is awesome. We're super grateful.
All right, I think
maybe that's what you were gonna say.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I got all the emotions out and everything. I can get back into the real conversation.
Okay. Congratulations. Yeah, I mean, you're so right. Like, the artisan community here is incredible, and it just never seeks to amaze, like, me as a fellow artist too. Like, I don't sell at markets, but like I can still recognize, like, I don't know. It really is mind blowing, like how just inclusive and helpful and like genuinely just people wanting to be like friends and like uplift each other, that like the artisan community in Utah really is. It's not like, oh, well, we're in competition. It's like, no, let's hold hands and run through a field of flowers together. And you're like, great.
It's true though. Like, I made friends at markets. Like, I literally was messaging one of my vendor friends, and like, we're going to like hang out next week, and like we hang out in real life, IRL. Like, that's crazy. But it's so amazing.
Yeah. Okay. So Christy asked it or brought it up again, but is there a piece of advice you have for an artisan or vendor or creator or anybody out there that might be thinking about like getting started in this whole crazy world of art markets?
Oh, I love this. Oh, do I? You said it earlier, but in a similar, like you said, just do it, as like, but in a similar vein, like there are so many resources out there that can help you get started as well. Like, as a local artisan who's just getting started, I mean, obviously we have our programs, but I know other people like have stuff going on as well. To reach out, seriously, like make the connection. Even in the job searching realm, it's like, make the connection, ask them questions about it, get inspired yourself, figure out like, oh, they did it like this, but I want to do it my way. So get inspired by other people, and don't be afraid to make friends and reach out. Seriously, like there are so many people who are rooting for you. Like, if an artisan is wanting to get into their first market and they reached out to me, I would freak out. I'd be like, yes, this is the moment I've been waiting for. Like, we have anyone on our team, like the Craft Lake City, at least on the Craft Lake City side, I can't really vouch for anyone else, but would be overjoyed to be able to connect emerging artisans with resources to be able to like exhibit at their first market. And we do have a lot of resources out there already, just in preparation for the festival, to help new people and maybe people who need a refresher on like how to be successful at a market. Yeah, love it.
Is there anything we missed about Craft Lake City, about DIY Fest, about any of the programs or anything that we've missed so far in conversation that like you want to make sure like people out there know about it?
Thank you for asking. One thing. There's one thing for sure. I mean, obviously we have a million programs, but this is more about DIY Festival. DIY Festival is one of the only like dog friendly events, but we also really prioritize family. Something that I found really unique about the organization is it's kind of a melting pot to bring everyone together under creativity and innovation. So we have something for literally every type of person, from a kid row, obviously, and other stuff too, like science. We have kids area with like all sorts of fun activities. We have like crafting stations all the way up to like adults too, and like there's just so much opportunity to bring literally the whole family, all your friends, your puppy, which is like really rare from what I hear, which is so cool. But we even have like a dog park for them. It's like the dog oasis or whatever. But yeah, thank you for asking.
Yeah, so it's I want to make sure that people know like the different things, but is there a future plan going forward for Craft Lake City, bigger, taking over like the whole like city block, taking over like downtown, or like is there some big plans like in the near future with Craft Lake City?
I sure hope so. I don't know if I'm allowed to share this stuff. You almost got me there. Put your notepad away.
I was trying to get the inside
always,
scoop.
Though. Always.
Yeah.
Just working towards increasing our impact, how many people we can uplift. Going further north, going further south, because again, it's not just right now. Of course, we're based in Salt Lake City, so a lot of our programming is in Salt Lake City, but we're always looking to like grow outside of that too.
Yeah, you did share at the focus group thinking something down south a little bit further too, and there was a possibility of something looking into how that kind of looks for you guys. And again, you guys are a nonprofit, so there are like financial limitations of how you guys can move and like how quickly it can grow. But it is 17 years of DIY Fest. That is insane. I'm so fortunate that we're part of at least the past 3, and they're going to be our 4th this year, so we're super excited for it. We, again, because it's our 50th episode, and like you guys kind of were the start of like why we got this all going and everything, we just wanted to see like, hey, this seemed like the right episode to have you guys on. But like we do appreciate you coming down and sharing, and it for you guys listening out there, it is genuine, like the conversation we're having and how we feel about this event. And if you guys can come out and make it like to an event like DIY Fest then August 8th, 9th, and 10th, I'll get those dates again right. Come out and check it out, because you're not just coming and supporting Craft Lake City. You are like showing that the community that art is important. So yeah. I think we can wrap this up a little bit, but I do want to make sure people can go find information about Craft Lake City, social, internet, websites, stuff like that. What's the best place they can find more information?
Yeah, you can find us at Craft Lake City and across all platforms, and then craftlakecity.com.
Okay. Tiana, thank you so much for coming down and having the conversation. It was great. Guys, you guys know what to do at this point. Like, comment, subscribe. If you guys know any other local artists, any makers in the greater Salt Lake or Salt Lake area, please, again, send them our way. We'd love to have conversations. If you guys are going to be in the area of the State Fair grounds here in Salt Lake on August 8th, 9th, or 10th, come say hi. Like, come say hi to Tiana. Come say hi to us. Come say hi to all the cool, talented artists. If you guys have been listening to the show, a lot of the people on the show will be there. A lot of the people will be there vending, and you guys can support. Or again, just say hi. It goes a long ways. But guys, thanks again for being part of the show. We'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.